One of the most common questions that we get in this industry, and one of the most difficult ones that we're asked, is how do I classify and decide what kind of quality a material is? And for me, I've been in the business for a very long time, and I understand classification and quality control pretty well at this point. For me, one of the most difficult materials to classify and qualify is amethyst. The reason being that with amethyst, there are so many qualities and grades and different formations, and it becomes really overwhelming trying to figure out how do we classify amethyst. Traditionally speaking, we're looking at 7 different qualities of amethyst. For us, let's just make it really simple and boil it down to 3 different qualities. We're gonna go with A, B, and C, meaning high grade, medium grade, and low grade material. In determining what creates a low quality material, number 1, for me, I'm going to now blend value and quality together to some degree. Because when I purchase amethyst, let's just say I'm buying out a mine. Out of that 10,000 pounds of amethyst, let's just say, which is one run, I am paying a mean price, meaning let's just say it cost me $5 a pound. Hypothetically speaking. $5 a pound has to be distributed through low to high quality material. So if we're gonna average that out, and let's just say that we're gonna double our money, okay? And I'm talking more for you, not for me. In wholesale, typically you're looking at 15 to 20% profit margin. But in retail, if you're doubling your money, then you're going to be looking at, okay, I need to make at least $10 per pound in order to make back my $5. Something else we should factor in is shipping costs, time and material, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever it is that went into the material, you have to also recoup those funds as well. Remember, you're not doubling your money because all of your expenses have to come out of that as well. If it took you 3 hours to drive and pick up the material and then bring it back, and it took you an hour to take out the material and price the material and place it on a shelf, that's 4 hours worth of time that has to go into that material. So determining what your time is worth also goes into how you price your material. And so I'm gonna look at material and say, okay, I paid $5 a pound for this. This material, I have to pretty much give it away because it's very low grade, it's damaged, it's repaired, it's broken, it's very light colored, it's washed material. Then I will maybe sell that for $3 a pound and I take a loss. And then I look at the material that is actually mid-grade, if you will, and then I recoup my money there to some degree. Instead of charging $5 a pound, maybe I charge $7 a pound on that material. And then I will go to the best of the best material, and that's where I will charge $10 a pound for that material. You have to also understand that, okay, just because I paid $5 a pound for it doesn't mean that I have to charge $5 a pound or more on it. I can recoup funds on the back end of the higher quality stuff. The lower quality stuff is best to just move it at a very low price because otherwise it just takes up space. Typically what I do is I'll find other wholesalers who are willing to take all of my low grade material and I just sell all of it to them for less than I pay for it, and it kind of gets that out of my hair, and then I can deal with the kind of material that I like, which is higher grade, mid to high grade material, or super high grade material. Also, just real quick, since we're on amethyst, it's important to talk about coloring in amethyst. So out of Uruguay, we're going to see a lot of different colors: greens, reds, ametrines, black amethyst. All of these colors essentially are really cool, and most likely you're going to see it being called rainbow amethyst. Rainbow amethyst means that it is a different shade, hue, or contrast of purple. It could range from, like see here, we have something, like we have an amethyst that would be considered a green amethyst. Is it green amethyst? No, it's not praisiolite, but at the same time, it is green and it did come out of the amethyst mines. We also have stuff like this, which is considered black amethyst, quote unquote black amethyst, where it has a very, very dark, almost void of any kind of purple. It looks like either a very, very, very dark blue or a blackish color. Now, while a lot of people might see that and say, oh, okay, well, that makes it high quality, it doesn't necessarily make it high quality. The rarity of that is what makes it more intriguing, not necessarily higher quality. Again, now you're dealing with rarity. It's not common that we're going to see green amethyst. This is like a red colored amethyst to some degree. Not super common that we're gonna see that, especially in high grade material. Usually it's going to be like this, very thick matrix, Okay, you can see that there's fracture lines here. That's natural. It's not that the piece is broken, but you can see it's a very heavy, very dense piece, and you can see that the crystal is very, very thin here. So really, what's the point of leaving all this heavy matrix on the piece is that now you can charge more money for the very, very little crystal, which makes sense if you're a miner, because when you're mining, there's a lot of costs that go into it. You have to burrow into the mine, you have to extract the material, take the material out, chop down the material, cut the material. If you're polishing the edge, you have to polish the material, and then you have to pack it and export it. There's a lot that goes into it. And if I only have a tiny little piece, it's going to be very hard for the miners to make any decent money off of the material. So a lot of the times you're going to see them leaving nice chunks of matrix on. Also, it provides a good base for it to sit. So if the base is too skinny or too thin, it becomes a wobbly piece and then it can just fall over very easily. If you're looking at really, really low grade amethyst, the lowest grade material I really have here is this right here, right? It's just a big chunk of basalt. It has a little bit of amethyst on it. The amethyst is kind of washed. You know, even if you look at this, like for me, this is the lowest grade of amethyst that I carry. The thicker the rock, the more basalt, which is matrix, right? The more matrix rock being what the crystals actually grow on, the more of that's incorporated into the stone, the lower the quality becomes, because now the denser and the heavier the rock becomes. So I cannot price heavy or dense material the same way that I would price lightweight material. Next up, we're looking for damage. We're trying to find out, is there damage? Has there been repair to the material? One of the things that people don't really fully understand about amethyst is that in the mining process or in the cutting and polishing process, you wind up with a lot of broken stuff. And repairing that is totally common, it's totally normal, and it's not something that we should be upset about. Also, what we can see here is that there was a repair on this rock. You can see clearly the crack line running throughout the whole thing. Now we're going to talk about mid-grade material. Mid-grade material is probably the most sellable material on the market. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just kind of right there in the middle, but it's super affordable and it still gets the job done. So for me, the way that I'm classifying mid-grade material is going to be like this. This is what I would consider a mid-grade material. Again, very, very nice. Most people are not going to really have better quality material than that. It's rare that you're going to get better than that, but this is your mid-grade material. That's low, that's mid. And again, with mid-grade material, we're looking at decent color saturation. We're looking at not the most amount of matrix, and we're also looking at minimal to no damage. Now, let's look at what we consider your A-grade material, your high-grade material. High-grade material is coming in a smaller grade format. This is what I would consider to be high-grade. Now you have your low, your mid, and your high. High-graded amethyst is going to essentially have kind of the best kind of color amethyst you can get. Going to be like a grapey kind of color, Concord grapish color to the amethyst. It's going to have a little bit of a matrix, but still very stable and minimal to no damage. Here I have a new arrival. This is me buying out a portion of what the miners had. It was all of the high-graded material, meaning your mid to high-grade material. Like I said, I don't really like dealing in low-grade material. Most of the mining companies and most of manufacturers or anybody who's in the industry knows that if you have really garbage material or low-grade material, please don't contact me about it. I think it's a really great opportunity for us to talk about some pieces that are really exquisite. But real quick, I want to bring our attention to this. This is a repaired piece. You can see that the crack line happened right here and ran all through here. There's the crack. So this is a repaired piece. You can see also the crack on the bottom. The color is really nice. This is a great piece. Most people would try to sell this as high grade, but for me, I'm going to sell it as mid grade because of the repair. See where I'm going? Now, as we move along, we find material like this that is really, really nice quality amethyst, but we see a little bit of dings and dents going throughout the amethyst. And so while the color is of an A-grade material, the fact that there's some damage here or a little more damage than I would like makes it mid-grade. Then we run into a piece like this guy right here. The crystals are small. There's several spots of damage, even at the edges here. We can see damage here. We can see damage here right at the main point. And so this is going to make itself, even though it should be mid-grade material, this now works its way down into low grade. And now we're talking about classifying this material, not any other material. Like I said, for me, I buy out a mine, the material shows up, and then I have to determine what is my low, what is my mid, what is my high grade material out of that lot so I can price it accordingly. So now we're going to talk about value, rarity, quality. This is exceptional. This is above A grade material for me personally, because we have this formation in here that is absolutely insane. Not a common situation. Also, this is a 2-tiered amethyst. There's just so many good things about this piece that makes it special. So now we're moving into that 4th tier to some degree, which is like, oh, this is a keeper piece for me. This is special material that I don't want to sell. So we take that piece and we just put it aside. Very good example of A grade material, very high quality amethyst, not a lot of matrix, minimal, actually I really don't see much damage at all here. Oh yeah, there's a little bit of damage right here on this point, but still this is going to qualify as A grade material. Kind of getting the difference, you know, if you put one next to the other, it becomes way more easy to see, right? This is your mid-grade material that I classified as low because of the damage, and then this is your A grade material. And then we get to something like this, which is going to be the cream of the crop, the best piece in the whole lot right here. And let's just talk about it a little bit so we can get a better understanding and idea of why I'm saying what I'm saying. Number one, the color of this piece is excellent. The crystal size is excellent. I see no visible damage. I'd have to really get a fine-tooth comb to find damage here, but this piece is going to be exceptional. Probably the best piece in the lot. It's a really great statement piece. It's something that will actually speak volumes, where a lot of the times, I mean, again, this might be a statement piece for somebody, but if you're trying to really make up an impression, you're a retailer, you want to put something really amazing in your window, something like this is going to do the job, where this is going to be something more that you would sell to your average client. One of the things that I would like to iterate before we finish this video is that it's extremely important to get your hands on high grade material. If you're in this business and you're in this industry, I can't express to you enough the importance of holding on to, of saving, of collecting high graded material. It's so important. Most of the time when people get into this industry, one of my first pieces of advice to them is going to be have statement pieces that make an impression. Again, first impressions are very, very important. I don't think that they're everything, but they are extremely important. And one of the things we want to make sure is that we make a good first impression. If you are a dealer and you want to be legitimate and authentic and not just come and screenshot other people's material and make content from other people's material, which is what we're all doing, let's be honest, not me. My integrity won't take me there, but most of the stuff you're seeing online and in Instagram posts or TikTok posts, people go to gem shows and they video material that belongs to other dealers and then kind of pretend that it's their material. It's very common. For me, I can't do it, so you're never going to see that from me. If you see material on my social media in any which way, shape, or form, it belongs to me. It came through my hands. Either I've kept it or sold it. But again, that's one of the things that I think is really important and authentic. If we paint this picture of grandeur around ourselves and build ourselves up to this place where it's like, wow, this person has really, really crazy stuff, and then we jump onto your live or we go onto your website or whatever it is, and all of your material is fodder from Chinese manufacturing, it doesn't really speak volumes about the quality of what you're doing. It's extreme. Again, this is coming from someone who's been in the industry over 10 years now and has dealt with some of the biggest clients you can imagine, corporate business, spas, hotels, casinos, all of you name it, I've dealt with that business. And I can tell you that the thing that helped me maintain success was holding on to integrity, not pretending and not being fake or fraudulent in what I was doing. That, okay, this is mine, it belongs to me, I can use it. I don't mind other people coming in and using my material, but again, the reason I'm saying this at the end of the video is because if you've watched it this long, you're a person who really cares about the information and figuring things out. So this is a little gem for you. Thank you for watching towards the end. Don't fake the funk on a nasty dunk. Make sure that whatever you're doing has integrity and it has truth to it. And that's how I really got here to this place where I was able to do the things and get the purchase power that I have and find the kind of clientele that I had, because people want to work with good businesses. Good business is done with good business. Bad business and good business, they don't stay together very long. It's a short-lived relationship. For me, creating good business, sustainable business, honest business, consistent, integral business. That's what keeps you in the game for the long haul. Going on your Instagram page or your website or whatever it is and saying, hey, I have all ethically sourced fair trade material, everything is really good, don't worry about it. But then you don't really know that because you bought it all from a Chinese manufacturer. And again, this is not anything against China or anything to that degree. I hate when people are like, you can't say the different country's name. It's not about the country, it's about what goes on in the manufacturing process. And so if you have material that has been manufactured and you're not really sure how it got manufactured or who manufactured it, again, most of the material that you're seeing on people who are getting into the industry, their material is coming from China. That's why we say it's from China, because it's coming from China. And a lot of the practices around the material aren't great. It's very rare that we're going to find practices in certain countries that make a lot of sense if you're trying to do things. Don't put that you're fair trade, you're ethically sourced. Don't pretend like you know things when you don't know things. Do your legwork, do your research, earn your business, earn it. Go through things the way that they're supposed to happen. Do things the right way. This is my major advice for you at the end of the video. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I love you. Good luck.